So Doom. Doom. Gamers fear the worst for Doom, the Dark Ages campaign, and they might be right. Are they? I wonder how many people are going to sit there and be like, oh, you fucking chud, and blah, blah, before they even watch the video. I'm not even judging the game yet. But that's what I found. These people will watch like 2 seconds of the video, and then they'll start leaving like, oh my god, do you even do that, you fucking basement dwelling incel? Did you watch the video? Did you think that maybe what you thought I was going to say, I didn't actually say? Or are you just looking for a reason to be mad? That's happened a few times, and I've kind of called them out. People are like, oh, well, you said, why are you, so sensitive and this and that. I'm like, did you watch the video? Because I say numerous times I said this, and then they go back and watch it. They're like, oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. But, I've seen the trailer, and it was like, I mean, cool. Cool. But considering Doom is one of those games that comes around only once in a blue moon, people are worried. People are worried. I mean, you look at like Dragon Age, like last game was 10 years ago, and look how much of a failure the Failguard was. It started out with, well, it's just pronouns and top surgery scars. What's the big deal? And then you play the game and you see what the big deal was. It's a terrible game, forced modern politics, and it was just terrible. It was just terrible. And that's why people are so wary about things now, because you can't trust these people anymore. You can't trust these companies. ID Software, owned by ZeniMax Media Inc., and one of the key studios within Microsoft's Xbox Game Studios division, recently revealed a developer sneak peek of the latest entry in the Doom franchise. According to Hugo Martin, Doom, the Dark Ages story is easier to access now, as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. Gamers over social media, particularly Twitter, have dissected every bit of ID Software's segment during the latest Xbox Developer Direct, which took place on January 23rd of this year. Some of them have expressed concerns about the game's introduction of a female character with peculiar masculine features, because that's the Western way to do it now. Because we can't have attractive females. No, they have to look like dudes in makeup. And even when this was an edit. So considering they have like pixel, I assume this is like Photoshop or something. Why is it that someone did this for free in Photoshop and it looks better than what people who got paid to do it did? Like, was it really that hard? Why are they giving her a blocky masculine jawline? Like, why can we not have females who look like females? They don't have to be hot. They don't have to be, oh, fuck. Just make them look like women. Like, was this really that fucking hard? You can see the difference. Like, it's night and day. Night and day. Looks like a dude in freaking makeup. This looks like more like a woman. Was it really that freaking hard? Some others have focused on the introduction of accessibility features in Doom the Dark Ages, while others have pointed out that Doom's story mode may be the perfect vehicle for a bait and switch strategy. Basically, like, oh, there's nothing in this game that's woke. Yeah, you guys are just worrying. You're worrying for nothing. And, and it's, you play the game, 2 hours in or so, and you're like, huh, I guess they're right. But then guess what happens? Boom, you get slapped with modern politics. And then you're like, God damn it, they did it to me again. Like the 4th time this year this has happened. So yeah, we've got this. There, I fixed the trans draw and cheekbones. Again, how hard is this? This person, whoever did this, gets paid to do it. This person did it for free. Again, they don't have to be super attractive. They don't have to be supermodels. Just make them look like women, like biological women. Biological, real, 100% women, not chicks with dicks. And new gay and trans characters, Gavin the Trex. It's a doom for all slayers. Slay. It's easy to dismiss these concerns as mere exaggeration and snowflake complaints. However, reflecting upon the cause for these concerns shines valuable insight that may validate gamers' fears. Studios under the Xbox Game Studios label have continuously been exposed for promoting leftist agendas. The recent reports have come out regarding Obsidian and Compulsion Games culture, where they use the use of pronouns as enforced in internal comms while prioritizing liberal agendas. Yeah, like this dude right here, Matt Hansen. This is the same freaking ascot wearing douchebag who's like, oh yeah, if you're black, you have priority when it comes to applications and having your portfolio looked at, because this place is run by nothing but crusty white dudes. The dude who goes off on a freaking tirade against Elon Musk, calling him a stupid little shit or something because Elon's like, why do you have pronouns in a medieval fantasy game? These people are like going out of their way to put stuff into games just to piss gamers off, but then when the game fails, the same people doing that are like, what? How did the game fail? It must have been because all of those basement dwelling chuds. Or maybe you're just a hateful, spiteful person that's intentionally sabotaging a game just to stick it to those chuds, and you're not realizing that that's probably not a winning strategy right now. Where these liberal genders over conservative points of view strengthen the argument that ID Software may have been subjected to these draconian practices. As it has been evidenced over the past year with the Sweet Babying scandal, DEI consultants have the most influence over storylines and character designs. That's why Doom: The Dark Ages focus on story seems suspicious to the conservative gamer. I wouldn't say conservative gamer. Even the people on the left who are normal, rational people are tired of it. Again, just look at Dragon Age. Look at the Failguard. They're talking about representation and inclusivity and being able to see yourself in game and connecting with these characters on a more personal level. But then people who the game is basically pandered to, they're like, this isn't real representation. So, like, the sane, rational people on their side, even they're getting tired of it. Even they're getting tired of the pandering, the characters who are inserted in there for a clear purpose. It's like I was talking about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, saying how, like, all the villains seem to be becoming black. Norman and Harry Osborn, black. Dr. Connors, not only black or brown or something, but also gender swapped. I said soon, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, it's just gonna be Peter Parker, a white man beating up a bunch of freaking minorities. And people are like, oh, well, it's an alternate universe and blah, 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 you fucking moron. It's like, do you know how many good black villains and black characters there have been in the Marvel universe since like the 60s, 70s? Why are they taking established characters and making them black? Why not use some underutilized characters like Killmonger, Calypso? Why not use them? They're amazing characters. They're amazing characters, and they're black. So... But no, let's just take Norman and Harry, make them black. Let's just take Kurt Connors and race and gender swap them. Instead of actual, genuine diversity, they go the lazy route. But then I'm the one who gets, oh, you're a phobus and ism. That's right. Keep complaining to me and attacking me, the one calling it out, not the people who are overly paid and they're the lazy writing. Lazy writing, just race swapping or gender swapping. So even that side, their side, who they pander to, are getting tired of that. According to Martin, the story of Doom: The Dark Ages, like everything else, is in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster event with everything on the line, and you are the star of the show. Your power is coveted by your enemies and withheld from your allies. With the Slayer imprisoned at the start of our story, the Slayer imprisoned. So, is he freeing himself by going around or whatever, or do we have to play as a strong, powerful woman to get him out? Like, is he liberating himself from his imprisonment, or does he need a strong, powerful woman to go in there and get him? Like, see, it's stuff like that that are making people worried. When you have, the main character being who he is, he should be able to escape from that situation on his own. But people are, like I just brought up, someone probably said the same thing. It's like, so he's going to have a strong, powerful female coming to save him. And then he's going to be berated and emasculated. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you got yourself caught like that. Ugh, you men can't do anything without us around. With the Slayer imprisoned at the start of our story, the balance of power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now, as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. That description may sound exciting, although a bit safe and corporate, but a slightly deeper analysis uncovers reasons to be concerned. Let's go over them. It's a summer blockbuster event. Hollywood isn't necessarily at a peak right now. Yeah, both in terms of revenue and cultural impact. Gamers are aware of how Hollywood has devolved into a factory of woke propaganda over the past decade. Therefore, comparing Doom's story to a summer blockbuster event may not be the kind of comparison gamers expect, or it just makes it sound like it's just going to be one big fucking movie. If I wanted to watch a movie, I'd just watch a movie. I don't want to play a game and have to watch nothing but cutscenes for fucking an hour and a half. I don't. We buy games to play games. So it almost makes it sound like you're going to be sitting there watching a lot of cutscenes. And these cutscenes are like 5-10 minutes long. No one wants that. Let's not forget the fact that treating movies as events, just like the MCU did at the end of last decade, is just an excuse to turn a piece of entertainment into a glorified trailer. You are the star of the show. That's the case to be made about RPGification of Western entertainment, which may have resulted in the net negative overall due to the influence of DEI consultants. When contemporary studios use the word "you" at the center of the story, gamers have reasons to be worried about the injection of DEI content such as pronouns or progressive decisions, as evidenced by games such as Starfield, BioWare's Dragon Age The Failguard, and the upcoming Avowed. It's a story and the perfect entry for new players. The Doom franchise prior to 2016 didn't really need a story. After all, Doom is all about destroying and eviscerating demons at a frantic pace. Why is ID Software interested in creating a perfect entry point for new players? Yeah, I mean, having efforts to appeal to the widest possible demographic ended in miserable outcomes over the past decade, as evidenced by the Star Wars franchise. It's easier to access now. We've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes. A game's codex is an interesting narrative device that adds mystery and intrigue to how the story is told. Why has ID Software decided to take narrative elements out of the codex and into cutscenes? It seems gratuitous at best and insidious at worst, since DEI consultants are notable for using cutscenes as a way to spread feminist and LGBTQ propaganda. Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 and Naughty Dog's The Last of Us are good examples of this. Doom: The Dark Ages looks like a promising title, but given the way its story is teased and the history of Microsoft's pushing LGBT propaganda through its Xbox Game Studio division, gamers have valid. Yeah, we're not saying it's going to be bad. People are just worried. People are just worried, and rightly so. because every time people have their hopes up and they're like, "Oh my god, this game's gonna be amazing," they get their hands on it and they find out that it's not actually amazing. That all their fears are true. So we hope it's a good game. I mean, it's fucking Doom. Why would we want it to be a bad game? We hope it's a good game. But when you have stuff like this, where they're just doing the same thing as every other freaking studio who cares about, the DEI shit. I mean, is it really that hard? If someone in Photoshop can do this, surely these overly paid programmers and designers can do the same. I really like to know what that says. Let's see. Hang on. Let me bring up the projectile speed. Want to know what it says. Okay, so no jump button, a shield, a parry, and game speed sliders. Xbox ruined Doom and made it for casuals. Let's see. So damage to player, damage to demons, enemy. It's difficulty level. Hurt me plenty. Hurt me harder, daddy. Days duration, game speed, resource values. Yeah, so I mean, anyone could just like, oh, well, let's see. Damage to player all the way down. Damage to demons all the way up. Any enemy projectile speed. Let's see. I want to make it seem like it's the Matrix. Like it's just coming at me in slow motion. Enemy aggression. We'll turn that down. I mean, making games, if you want to make the game too easy, then is it really worth playing? But yeah, it could be a great game. And no one's going to hear me say that because they're going to watch like the first 2 seconds and they're like, oh my god, new fat fucking incel. You freaking people complaining about the game that hasn't even come out yet. It could be a great game, but you have to understand why people are worried. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. I'm not saying it's woke. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, I mean, when it comes to like this stuff, was it really that hard? We're not asking for big fucking titties in our faces and supermodel women, but make them resemble biological women. It's not hard. The fact that, you have stuff like this where it's like, oh yeah, basically baby mode. You don't have to worry about taking any real damage while blasting away everything else. Saying that it's going to be like, cinematic or like a summer blockbuster. Again, if I wanted to watch a movie, I'd watch a movie. But again, the game's not out. The trailer looked okay. So, I mean, it's Doom. But for the people who would just want to be like, oh, you fat fucking incel, you have to put yourself in a position of people who have supported these franchises, and every time they get excited, they get the game to find out that their fears were confirmed, that the game is infested with DEI bullcrap, terrible writing, terrible characters, horrible gameplay. They went out, spent 70, 80, some people up to $200 on special editions, only to find out that the game blows. So you have to put yourself in that position of, I can understand where they're coming from. Instead of just dismissing everything they say and say, oh, you're just a bunch of phobes and isms, put yourself in that position. How about one of your hobbies? Something that you look forward to. Imagine waiting 10 years or so for another chance to experience it, and then they ruin it. So, I hope the game's great. It's Doom. It'd be kind of hard to mess it up, which, but you need to understand where other people are coming from when it comes to the weariness of all this crap that they force in, because every game that people look forward to in 2024, people are looking forward to the Failguard. And everyone just said, oh, well, who cares? It's just pronouns and top surgery scars. It's not hurting anyone. And then you got the game and found out, no, it's not just top surgery scars and pronouns. It's a terrible game. Terrible writing, terrible characters. A game that people waited 10 years for, and it was shit. So put yourself in that position. I understand that might be hard for some of you who have no passions or hobbies and you don't give a shit about anything, but just try to. But not saying it's good, not saying it's bad. We just get nervous, especially with big franchises. So, anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.